Hey Lesbian Central, today is Thursday, you're here with Shayna, and I'm filling in for Kai. Nope, I'm filling in for Fresh. I know people's names. So the two topics for this week are our experiences with sex ed and how to deal with your partner's family not accepting you. So I'm going to talk about my experiences in sex ed. I've actually been talking to some of my friends about our various experiences with sex ed, and I have discovered that I apparently had a really decent experience with sex ed in general. My mom, being the extremely intelligent and wonderful and accepting and open person that she is, she didn't really use that stereotypical method of, okay, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk about sex, we're gonna get it over with, we're gonna get in, get out, and then we're never gonna talk about it again. Okay, cool, and break. No, her method was more, she would wait for me to come to her with questions, and basically just sort of as I sort of came up with questions, she would answer them truthfully and in an informative fashion, but not so much to scare the living shit out of me. The only sort of really interesting experience I had with sex ed happened in grade 5. Let me tell you a little story here. So in grade 5, there was only one day where the girls were split up from the guys, and so the guys were in one class and the girls were in another, and the teacher who was teaching my sex ed class that day was my grade 5 teacher, who, to put this sensitively, wasn't the most stable person on the planet. I'm not sure if that was all that sensitive, but it was the truth. And the conversation she had with our class could probably be summed up with 3 simple letters. TMI. She talked about her own sex life. I remember her talking about the fact that her daughter once told her that she heard her and her husband having sex. That was really fun to hear. And just to top it all off, the cherry on top was she decided to take the liberty of informing me that because my mom was divorced, she's probably had sex with lots of men who I don't know. So yeah, that was fun times, and not at all awkward or emotionally and mentally scarring. But that little fun experience aside, I generally had a really good sex education. The only thing I will say was sort of missing from my sex ed experience in particular, there was a pretty big lack of information about anything that didn't involve heterosexual sex. It almost seemed like all the information was sort of geared towards preparing us for that inevitable moment where we will have that. I don't really ever remember learning about the ways in which non-heterosexual people have sex, sort of the ways in which STIs and STDs can be transmitted between two people of the same sex. Basically, just LGBT people in general were just kind of non-existent in the sex ed curriculum, and I think that's definitely something that needs to change. One last thing I will say is there is this wonderful YouTube channel out there called Sex Positive with Laci Green, if you haven't heard of it already. She sort of specializes in peer-led sex education, and her YouTube channel pretty much involves anything and everything that has to do with sex and relationships and gender and body image and all that fun kind of stuff. So if you're ever looking for a really informative but also like really fun to watch source of information about all the topics that pertain to sex and sexuality, I will direct you to her. I'll put her link to her YouTube channel in the belowness of this video, along with all of Lesbian Central links and all of my links. So if you want to go check that out, I highly encourage it. I still watch and I'm still learning a bunch of new things that I had never heard of, and I'm getting my memory refreshed, and I am gonna be 22 in a few weeks. So it's never too late to stop learning. Just remember that, kids. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week, and I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope where you are, it's somewhat resembling spring outside, because it's definitely not here in Toronto, and I will hopefully see you guys soon. Bye.